Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. We got the squad in the building. Yeah. Hey, man, we got the man formerly known as Ringo J. Stefan Don filling in for the pettiest man alive up front. Of course, the super producer Joel Holt in the back, and Jordan JC holding down the stats. Mr. Stat Guy, where you been?
I'm back.
Also known as Mr. Meaty, also known as the Hatter, also known as, none of the nicknames are good for him.
Jesus, good night.
None of the nicknames that he has are any good. Hey, we got a lot to get into on today's show, man, as the Chicago Bears draft is finished. But we got to give our grades. Because Mel Kiper gave his grades, and they are interesting. How you boys feeling? How's the weekend going? Joe, what's going on with you, man?
Me?
Yeah, what's going on with you, Joe?
I'm good, man.
Yeah,
how about you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I just want to talk to you here for a second. Really felt like, breaking down the in-depth, an inside look at the draft from the GM perspective. And by the way, C-Dub in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Dub, what's going on?
What up, man? What up? Oh, snap.
What's wrong with him?
What's happening, fellas? What's going on? I'm glad I made it in Paris.
Always somebody late this month.
I came in Paris kid timing. You know how we do.
Dog, we're trying to get away from the Pat McAfee show, but we can't beat the allegations. No, man. Honestly, we got a lot to get into on today's show, man. Gonna sit here and look at the draft grades for the Chicago Bears. Our draft grades, our thoughts on where we think this team, what we think this team did in the draft. Of course, ranking them in the NFC North, because I tell you what, boys, it's not just the Bears. They got better out there. I saw some trouble brewing, and the Lions are just adding depth pieces to me. And then, of course, best and worst of the weekend, all that and more on today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. For every one of you guys to hit the like button, we get this more cracking. For every one of y'all to subscribe, we get this channel more cracking. Let's jump into the show, boys. It's Crimson in the building. He said C-Dub elusive like Bigfoot. Mike Nice said for real is bad enough we can't start on time. C-Dub gets some reparations for giving the name up. Hey, man. Oh, you do got to give some reparations. Hey, we got a new C-Dub in town.
He gotta pay for that now. Just like how he want that jersey number. You're going to have to give up something to get that jersey number.
When are we calling him C-Dub? I don't think we calling him C-Dub. That feels wrong.
I haven't heard that. No one has said C-Dub.
Not really. No, not really.
I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah, I don't think I want to call him that. I feel like Caleb Williams is the only thing that makes most sense. By the way, are we giving him credit for coming up with the bear claw thing?
He can have all that. Actually, yeah. I haven't seen anybody else do that.
You're the first person I've seen do that.
I mean, I saw the mascot, not the mascot, y'all know, old boy that's in the Bears Hall of Fame or the Fan Hall of Fame. He always does it, so it's always been a thing. But I don't think anybody ever paid super attention to it until Caleb did it.
I'm not gonna lie though. Like, do we? Because if he can't have C-Dub, I was gonna say C-Will, but then P-Will.
It feels weird calling him anything different. Like, it's like calling Kobe by
his initials,
a different nickname, like Kobe Bryant. Like calling him by a different nickname or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just Kobe. I guess you could call him Bean, but like even then, like the announcers wasn't calling him Bean. Like if you knew Kobe, you was calling him Bean.
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
Like with the announcers wasn't out here Bean to the hole. Like that sounds, I mean.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The one thing he does need to work on, because I keep hearing him say like the Bears, like he keeps saying different iterations. He's the Bears, the Bears. He doesn't know how to say it yet.
Do we really?
We got to work on that.
I mean, I'm fine with his Dub Bears.
No, yeah, we do care, because that's been a staple for like 30, 40 years.
If the Bears winning.
Well, listen.
Hey, man, that's a staple. You don't just say it any old kind of way. Bears.
I like how Keenan Allen did it. Just the Bears. I like that. Yeah, I mean, he bringing his own flair to it.
We got 100 in the chat, by the way.
Hey, over 100 in the chat. Let's get into the actual football talk, man. Let's get to the actual football talk, man. Interesting draft this weekend. I think the Chicago Bears did some really good things. They went Caleb Williams first overall. No shock there. 9th overall, they take Rome Odunze. 75th overall, we get Kieran Amagachi. 122nd overall. Oh, I can't wait to talk to y'all about this. We get Tory Taylor, punter.
Your guy.
Out of Iowa. And then 144th, we get Austin Booker. Actually, my guy. So excited about that. Got him in the 5th round. Just overall, boys, how would you grade the Chicago Bears draft? What would you say the Bears did this weekend?
From a standpoint of pretty much checking every box, I'm giving it an A+. I mean, you got the best talent in the world in the draft this year in Caleb Williams. Then you got a guy who a lot of people didn't think was going to be there. With the way the draft board fell to our liking, with Atlanta somehow needing another quarterback. And then you got J.C. Latham going in the top 10. Didn't realize that was going to happen. So Rome Odunze fell into our laps without us having to trade up. And then we get a guy in Kieran Amagachi who, by all accounts, could have been a 2nd rounder. And we got him in the 3rd round. Yeah. And then we got the punter, which you love. And then we also came back and got the guy which you really love in Booker. So I'm giving it A+.
Yeah, I think when I'm looking at this, I'll probably give it an A. I mean, they checked all the boxes. I'm not gonna go as far as to say that Rome fell to the Bears, because I always think that was gonna be and I always thought that was gonna be in the cards for them. I didn't see the Atlanta pick because Michael Penix, man, that was crazy. But my thing is 2 things. They went back. Got Austin Booker, the guy that you talked about, a guy that, man, look, the tape, and then listen, if he comes in, puts his head down and just works, you talking about somebody that could potentially be on the side of Montez Sweat probably mid-season if this guy comes and puts the work in. And listen, the Tory Taylor pick, look, with as good as the defense is, you let it pick. With as good as the defense is, listen. If they play in a field position game, Poles likes his options at that point. So I mean, I like all the picks. I'm gonna definitely give it an A.
Hey man, hey Pat the designer, I'm gonna come to you like this, man. That pick is probably the sleeper of all the picks, and I know it's crazy to say that. A punter, I get it, I get you, but understand something. Field position is everything. Yeah. And if a guy could drop the ball in between the 5, the 2, and they push the ball back, and now the offense is they got their back against the wall, that makes the defense stronger. That puts Caleb at the 50-yard line as opposed to at the 20. You know, so at the end of the day, if you got a guy that's as gifted as this kid is, because I didn't know who he was. So I had to dig and do some research, went on YouTube, look at some things, and I'm like, yo, this kid is kind of special with the ball placement, man. It's kind of crazy. He kind of pinpoints it. So at the end of the day, I think that's a sleeper pick. I'm gonna go ahead. Hey, that's no flag.
I'll allow it because
what just happened? I didn't even pick that up.
I'll allow it because he's a punter. He said he kind of special with the ball placement. I'll allow it because he's a punter. There's not much else you can say about it.
You know where I was going with that one. But what I'm saying is that if you got a guy that's gonna plant the ball. That ain't bad.
Rod said no deal.
Dang. Come on, Ringo James.
CW, you on one today, man.
Let him live.
You on one today,
Let
man.
me live. Well, I'm going to say this, though. We're going to be winning a lot of games, but I do like what Caleb said. He had texted the punter and said, hey, man, you ain't going to be utilized like that anyway. So I'm loving it. I'm loving everything about it. A- for the draft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of the grade I went with. I went with that on the Chicago Bears podcast. I gave the Bears an A-. And listen, I think it's a great draft. And I don't hate the Tory Taylor pick. I got Caleb Williams as an A+ pick. I got Rome Odunze as an A+ pick. I've got Kieran Amagachi as a B pick because of coming off an injury. I like that you got him there. I think that a torn pec, he'll be able to come back from that and be able to bounce back. And he should be a solid piece for you at a certain point. The Tory Taylor pick, listen, I got a B-. He's a punter. I get it. I get the whole ball placement crazy. I get the whole the reasoning behind why you want to have him. I get the field position. I get all of that, and it's why I'm not killing Ryan Poles for this pick. But at the end of the day, Y'all can't sit. You know what's getting me? It's the fans of this guy. It's the people
Iowa
that
fans.
it's two people, right? It's two people. It's the people that are beating their chest. Like we just got an absolute stud that's going to be putting us on the offensive side of the ball all day because he's just going to be kicking it and people are going to be like dying on the 1 yard line every single punt. And then it's the people who are beating their chest like they saw this pick coming the entire time. Like, oh my goodness. Like, listen, I trust Ryan Post. It's in Post we trust. I wouldn't have done this. I'm fine with the pick. I wouldn't have done this. But at the end of the day, you're not sitting here telling me that you got a PFF mock draft that got a punter on it in the 4th round. And I need it dated and stamped if you're sending it to me. I need to see an old tweet that you sent out on that date that had the Bears taking a punter in the 4th round. I have no problems with the pick. Here's my issue with taking the punter. We can't act like if we had gotten players, we wouldn't feel better about it. We can't act like if we had gotten Cedric Van Pran in the 4th round, we wouldn't feel better about it. He ended up going in the 5th, not too far after him. Yep. We can't act like if we had taken Austin Booker in the 4th round, we wouldn't end up being excited about it, right? I'm not saying it's a bad pick. Listen, we had the worst punter in the NFL last year. He got an immediate pink slip.
That's why I like it.
Yep.
I'm fine with the pick.
You could have.
But the people that are beating their chest about a punter, shut up.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to know who we don't want to see?
What punter?
This guy.
You know what? You
We
know what, Pat?
never want to see him.
Do you have the side by side? I'm arguing with Pat right now. I ain't got time for this. I'm taking up for the little guys that want a punter that's going to come in here and put us all the way back near our goal line. All right, Pat.
Yeah.
Enough with you.
You know what that sound like?
What?
That sound like Iowa fans. You know what Iowa fans haven't had a lot of in the
How
last
dare
15
you?
years?
Ooh, how dare you?
Offense.
Oh, snap.
He was their offense. Actually.
You want to know why the punter is the most exciting thing to come out of Iowa since Caitlin Clark? Because he's the only dude on the football team.
Still ain't win the championship. You ain't lying. I'm sorry, guys. I digress.
About a punter, bro. Like, listen, I get it. It's fine. I'm cool with the pick. I understand why he took the pick, why he made the pick. I don't believe he would have been there in the 5th round, so you take him where you can take him.
Yeah. I think that's true. That's what it got down
to. I'm fine with it. But let's stop beating our chest for a punter.
Yeah, I'm not beating. I'm
How
happy
are
that
you?
We got it.
No, you know the comments I've been. First off, I even said in the you dig. I was fine with the pick.
Big
Bears junkie said.
I was fine in the you dig saying, okay. You know what I mean, I was a little stunned by it because of how Boy came out. But now I got mugs in the comments sitting here like, oh, Pat, how can you say you didn't do draft breakdown and you didn't take a look at the punter? Shut up.
Oh, snap.
I wasn't looking at no dang punter.
Bro, the crazy thing is I went back and I peeked the video and he was like, the Bears select Torrey Taylor.
It was the lean back. I did lean back.
Did we just take a punter, bro?
No. It was when you tried to rationalize it first because you was like, now hold on, now hear me out. And then you went back to getting frustrated. That's what cracked me up. Like, did they just take a punter, dog?
Oh my God. Joel, what were your thoughts on the Bears draft? Oh, by the way, overall, A- draft for the Bears. I'm fine with it. I thought getting Austin Booker in the 5th round was an A pick as well. It makes the punter more palatable.
I don't want to be too much of a homer of the situation. I think everybody knows how I felt. I like that we have Rome, but I would have rather stored up my offensive line and the defensive line. I think to your point, because the anticipation of maybe getting another person to strengthen up our defensive line is where everybody was going. So to take the punter in the 4th round was kind of a letdown in a sense, but it did strengthen the team. And if you're going to get the fact is you get a guy that's a Ray Guy winner. I mean, you're going to get the best punter. That's great.
Yeah.
If we got the best quarterback in the draft, that's great. We got one of the top 3 receivers in the draft. And then I think even with Kieran Amageji, I mean, he was rated? What was he rated? Like, was he the 10th best lineman? Was he the 10th or
probably somewhere in there? I don't know. When you get specific, he ends up in the top 5. When you get specific to tackle, he ends up as a top 5, top 8 guy.
I feel like we were able to acquire some of the best talent in everybody. I thought he was a second round guy. So for us to get him in the third round,
I think
I know,
the injury
talent-wise.
failed.
Everybody
the
was-
injury caused them to fall.
but my point is everybody viewed him. The fact that we were able to get him and we didn't have to trade back. That was my whole thought process was trade down, maybe get Verse, get Kieran in the second round, or Jordan, the boy that went to Morgan. That was my thought.
He went early.
Well,
Didn't
Jordan
he?
Morgan went in the first round to the Packers.
In the first round.
Which Packers fans are not happy about.
But that was my point, was that I was thinking, man, so the fact that we still got him, I was very excited. And he has the potential to be a starting left tackle, which is awesome. So no, it was a good draft. And then the trade back in to get the other guy that we had
Austin Booker,
who we all had on our board. Oh, by the way, 200 in the chat, by the way.
Over 200 in the chat.
200.
So we have a project, though, because he's 6'3", 240. He could probably put on about 10 pounds of muscle with Austin Booker. You know, he had 8 sacks last year. So, I mean, a young guy. I mean, it was a good draft. So I'm excited to see, you know, actually then when I look at, did I update the new roster? Because I switched it up.
Oh boy, do we got new players on the old roster?
Not really.
Oh, never mind.
But what I did was I switched where I think we have Rome starting at the Z or at the Y, and then with Keenan is more like your safety
He's a
valve.
slot.
Yeah, and so he's your check down safety valve for Caleb. I don't know if Ryan Bates is considered good. Maybe he is. I just didn't want to be premature and make him a good player versus he's just average for right now. And if they're still holding with sticking with Braxton Jones, that means that Kieran is not necessarily going to be a starting left tackle unless he's a swing left tackle. Yeah, and which is good because he gets the reps, and then maybe by the end of the year he's probably in the starting lineups at some point in time. Maybe he moves around and be a guard or something. I don't know. Well,
and that's the thing, right? I think this may not be a replace Braxton Jones move as much as it may end up being if Tevin Jenkins deals with injury again, you may be replacing Tevin Jenkins, right? Like there is something to be said for that. Or if you move Braxton Jones inside and you move Kieran to the outside, like we can't rule that out completely. And I hope Braxton Jones gets a contract. I hope that he's healthy the entire season, but there are going to be question marks on that.
I'd look at Brotherhood's comment. I mean, this could be the by Larry.
Well, yeah, Larry Borum got his pink slip already.
Larry Borum going. You got Trenton Gills going. Like
Jatir Carter. Yeah,
you got a few people that where it's like, okay, we have some solid replacements.
Yeah.
And we didn't get a lot of depth because we only had 4. We got 5 picks out of this draft instead of just 4. So overall, though, I mean, they improved the team.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I do think he will take over Braxton's job eventually. Maybe not automatically off the rip because we know that Braxton is Pace's pick 2. But I'm sorry. Whoa, Poles' pick.
Whoa, hey, no, come on now,
hey, calm down.
I saw Legatron.
You breathe.
That is hilarious.
I guess that's Greg Zuerlein's
that was
nickname already.
That was Greg
Legatron.
That was Greg.
They say it's Legatron too. I thought it was Greg DeLeg. I've always only heard Greg DeLeg. So they say it was Legatron.
That's what they call it now, the punter?
That's what they call it. Well, I said, is that a name that we could throw out there for the punter? But they say that's Greg Zuerlein's name already. So somebody quote tweeted it and was like, I think the best name that we could go with for this guy is the crocodile punter. Yeah. So that's what I'll be pushing heavily.
That's kind of perfect.
I will be pushing that heavily. Yeah. And he's the starting punter. There's no questions about that.
I think too. What is and I said this. I said this Thursday. I think too. When you look at it, and just in the position that Rome is in, when you talk about him stepping into that wide receiver room, getting to learn from DJ Moore and especially Keenan Allen. For those 2 years that Keenan will be here, once he's able to step into that role, whatever he gives you now is like a plus. But once he's able to step into that role of being that number 2 option, if he comes in, puts his head down and works and learns from those 2 guys, by the time he steps into that number 2 option, you are going to have a dog on either side of the field at that point.
Yeah.
It's literally all pluses to me. Like when I think about what this offense is capable of doing post draft, I mean, it's disgusting.
Well, and that's why I love it, right? Because nobody's coming into any situation with the kind of pressure that we've put on draft picks in the past. And yeah, Caleb Williams is coming in with the pressure of being great, or being, I guess, the greatest in Chicago Bears history, right? But you look at what's been built for him, right? You got 2 wide receivers in DJ Moore and Keenan Allen that Rome Odunze, who you took at 9, will have the opportunity to learn under. Like the video if you agree. By the way, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Appreciate
someone asked if Bayless is going to make the Shy asked if Bayless is going to make the team.
Bayless got nudes on somebody. He gonna make the team.
Yeah, he's going to be.
I don't know who he's got nudes on.
Our special teams.
He got some on somebody.
Our special teams is going to be incredible, I think.
But
Byron
I think we're gonna have a really solid special teams unit. But I do look at like I was saying, the fact that Rome Odunze gets to come in and learn behind Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, the fact that Kieran Amageji gets to learn behind Darnell Wright, Braxton Jones, Tevin Jenkins. Say what you want about Braxton, right? We all think he's serviceable. We all think he's at a certain level. It's not that he's the worst left tackle we've ever had. We've had much worse left tackles on the left side than Braxton Jones. Gabe Karimi. Sorry, I'm allergic to BS. But
more injury. More like Jamarcus.
Gabe Karimi was trash, bro. They know injury. Gabe Karimi was just trash.
He was horrible.
Well, I thought he got injured.
Gabe Karimi,
he got injured, but he got injured
horrible because he was trash. He had terrible technique. He had candlesticks for legs. He was 150 pounds. He was a little heavier than that, but he came in beating his chest about how he was going to be the best left tackle that the Bears had ever seen. Shut up, Gabe Karimi, you piece of. Anyway, but
dirty rat.
I just think that when you get an opportunity to come into the game, even right in Austin Booker gets to come in situations of pass rush opposite Montez Sweat. It allows you to develop your game and figure out your game while still being able to make an impact on the team versus what we've seen in the past where even last season, right? Darnell Wright had to come in and be the answer. You had no choice. It was no, hey, this guy's got to figure it out. This guy's got to learn. He had to come in, be the answer with a rookie not a rookie. It was Jatir Carter at that point, a second-year right guard standing next to him.
Yeah,
because Nate Davis wasn't ready to go. So he had a uphill battle, and so I do love the fact. Even Tyler Scott gets a lot of flack for his lack of production last season, but Tyler Scott came in and, for the most part, based on how he got targeted, was your number 2 wide receiver on the team. That wasn't supposed to be the case when you had Chase Claypool, DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, right? Like you had guys on the team that were supposed to step up and be those leaders in that building, and they weren't. And so to me, I just feel like this draft is not only an A because of the draft players that you brought in, but also because you already have a wealth of guys or a wealth of knowledge on guys that are the veterans in the room already. It's not, hey, you figured this game out yet? No, I ain't figured the game out yet. No, I ain't figured it out either, which is what we've dealt with.
This team is probably, if you look at if it's like a winning culture and they actually are on the cusp of doing something, let's say this is like the 84 Bears team or like the 05 Bears before they went to the Super Bowl, like they still made the playoffs, and then there's that surge to really take off. So this could be potentially that type of team that actually contends for a playoff spot. I don't think it's a Super Bowl contending team. I don't think it's an NFC champion or conference contending team, but it should be teetering of wild card to at least maybe making the playoffs this year.
I don't think it's those things yet because of the lack of experience and continuity. But if you're talking just from a straight talent standpoint, up and down this roster, honestly, I think this is the most talented Bears roster we probably will and have ever seen.
Ever seen.
And I'm not just I don't feel like I'm overstating that. Outside of Caleb Williams starting, you got players like Pat just said. You got players that are able to kind of slow step or walk instead of run into the league because they have guys in front of them that are talented that they can learn from. You're not just learning from the coaches, you're developing behind players that have been there and done that and played at a star level in the wide receiver room that will teach Rome Odunze to be even more of a threat than he already is coming in.
To your point,
by the way, just real quick, somebody in the chat just said this, and we got a recall to a previous episode where me and Joe were debating what dearth meant. It's an inadequate supply,
It's inadequate,
scarcity, or
yeah.
lack of.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
it is a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of assets.
It's the opposite.
Huh?
A dearth is
A dearth is
I looked it
not
up.
having
It's
any
the
of it.
opposite. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was sitting there. We had a very like what does that mean? I always heard that, but I don't really know the definition.
You always heard
DEAR.
it. You heard it in
What'd you
comedy.
hear
Like,
about it?
it's a dearth. Well, actually, it makes sense. It's a dearth of knowledge.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any.
Man's an idiot.
I'll be honest with you. I like girth of knowledge better.
All right.
Oh, snap.
Just saying, hey,
So anyway,
dang, just like I like my girthy steaks.
Oh,
All
right.
right.
Double snap.
We got
Right
no
there,
flags
right
on the
there.
play.
Two
Oh, he's
right
getting
there,
flagged
right
everywhere.
there.
Hey, all right.
That
Can't be
was
stopped.
crazy.
I mean, I think it's,
Talk about your Obi tap.
but I mean, yeah, almost lost my point.
Oh, go ahead.
But I mean, yeah, the fact that there is a good mix of veterans and the young guys here, but not only that, but the veterans are also willing to go ahead and teach the young guys. They're not gatekeeping anything. And it's just gonna lead them to success. I remember when Montez Sweat had the interview when he had the interview where he was talking about Caleb, and then he was like, "Oh, I don't know if we could take a talk about taking him number one." He was talking about how Ryan Kerrigan was on Washington's staff at the time. Well, not Washington's staff, but he was playing with Ryan at the time, and he had this one particular move that he would always do. And then Ryan kind of passed it down to him, and Montez kind of added his own little thing to it. But then it was continued because Ryan later was on their staff, and they kind of just built out Montez's game. I think you will be able to see a lot of that here, not only on the defensive side of the ball, but also on the offensive side of the ball. Because I mean, later on down the line, like I said, potentially, I mean, Tyler Scott was, like you said, thrust into a role that he wasn't really supposed to be in. When those guys are, all said and done, and it's ready for Tyler Scott or Aya Roma Dunze to come in and do what they're supposed to do, you have all the tools to go out and make something happen on that football field.
No, 100%. Yeah, I love the spot the Bears are in right now. We also got to break down what this spot the Bears are going to be in the NFC North, in a division that, listen, I hate the fact that I can't say that nobody got worse.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that I can't look at anybody else in the NFC North's draft grades and say, nah, they did not get better. I think all three teams in the NFC North got a lot better. And I think the Vikings have a reason to re-sign Justin Jefferson, and Justin Jefferson may have a reason to want to re-sign there. We got to talk about all that and more coming up. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Hey, guess who's back, ladies and gentlemen? We got to tell you guys all about Aura. Oh, yeah. We're going to let you guys know about Aura. We'll be right back right after this. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https://aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is Aura.com/The Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. Welcome back into another edition of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. If you haven't done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We've recently talked about the Chicago Bears and how we grade them in this draft, but now we've got to talk about where do the Bears rank in position post NFC North, because I think you've got an NFC North that absolutely got better to the point where I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I have the Bears as high as I thought I did going into this draft. I mean, even just looking at that team up north, let's start there. Green Bay. I mean, they start off their draft, to me, perfectly. They go offensive tackle. You see them making a commitment to actually making the team better, actually going out there and saying, hey, you know what we can't do? We can't put our quarterback in a position where he's going to end up getting killed. We can't put our quarterback in a position where he's going to end up struggling, and we're going to make sure that we get that better. Then you bring in Edrin Cooper, linebacker out of Texas A&M, Javon Bullard, safety out of Georgia, Marshawn Lloyd, running back out of USC in the third round, multiple third-round picks. I thought Tyron Hooper was a good pickup for them. When you get to the fourth round, okay, these are the guys that you feel a little bit better about, right? Evan Williams, Jacob Monk, Ketan Olav. I don't even know him. I ain't gonna lie to you. Out of Oregon State, I'm not even gonna flex on that.
Not gonna work here anymore.
But no, I thought even in the sixth round, right? A guy like Travis Glover seems like a dude that you can go out there and develop up. And we know the Packers are pretty good at developing up guys. What did you guys see in this draft, just from the Packers standpoint, that you feel they did, I guess, well? I hate to compliment the Packers on anything, but it does feel like they had a really good draft and they got a bunch of bites at the apple.
I mean, yeah, for me, just getting Edrin Cooper and Javon Bullard. I mean, honestly, when you look at it, like, I just lost his name. Javon Bullard. I mean, when you look at it, we always talked about how, the last couple of years, Georgia has, just been printing defensive pieces that have been coming into the league. And I mean, you swap out some of the safeties that you had last year, you imprint him, and then it's like what we continue to say. They've already had first-round picks on that defensive line. You still got Jair. Yeah. And then you turn around, it's like on the offensive side of the ball, you go 25th pick, you get the offensive lineman. You're trying to build on what Jordan Love has already accomplished, right? Because you weren't expecting him per se to do what he did. I think that in that aspect, he kind of blew everybody away. So I mean, for them, if I were to give them A grade, I definitely give them an A. I wouldn't even say that they got worse. You're just building on what you already had in that room. And those wide receivers, too, are still young.
I'd say their draft is a B, but we'll look at it later on. But for me, that's the thing, right? You're adding a B draft to a team that made it very far in the playoffs last year. You know what I mean? It's not like
they were 9-8.
You know what I mean? It's not like you're adding a B draft to a 3-5 or a 3-15 team or 14 team, and you're adding it to a solid team.
Yeah, they're still ascending. Like we can't necessarily shortchange them. We finished 7-10, but like again though, think about, based off last year, if let's say we beat them and knock them out of the playoffs, they are 8-9, and we are 8-9. Like one game. And minus not having what we would like is adequate quarterback play, right? So let's just say that if Caleb comes in, then again, this year is this year. Last year was last year.
Right.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But
Bears defense did do a good job in that second game,
it's gotten better,
keeping them from scoring a ton of points. They only put up 17 points, so a lot of yards, but 17 points.
It was a 9-8 team that the Packers became. Does that mean that they become a 10 or 11 win team and ascend? but the Bears are right there too because they're both ascending. So I feel like it. Like if we look at it, the Lions are still right now, out of respect, they are the division winner last year. They're number 1 coming in. I'd still probably have to put the Packers number 2, but put the Bears right there at 2B because they're both going to be competing. And then I'm gonna put the Vikings, at the bottom.
Yeah, and I think the thing for me with the Packers is my question marks aren't on the players. My question marks are on the play caller.
Yeah,
which was my question mark last year. They had a horrible play caller.
Play caller.
Who was the DC that is no longer there?
Yeah.
I can't think of his name. The Packers DC last year. I mean, like he just. I feel like he put put them in a bad position on a consistent basis to get cooked. I think the players also didn't play up to snuff as well. But I just thought that they had a really bad defensive play calling last season, and they already came in with, I want to say 7 or 8 first-round picks on that defense already. I mean, so like I feel like you're adding a better team, which, listen, that's why I love what the Bears did, because now you're starting to keep up with these teams that are continuing to improve every single season. Somebody just put it in the chat. Mike Houston, shout out to Joe Barry. Joe Barry was Jesus.
Yeah.
Shout out Crimson. He put it in there too, Barry. Yeah, Joe Barry was awful, bro. Like just dog water. And I wish they had kept him. But for me right now, I would go, man, I wish they kept him. I thought they were going to keep him because of the run he put them on. I'm not going to lie. I was like, yo, they're going to keep him because he got them through the playoffs, and the defense started playing better last couple of games of the season, heading into the playoffs. I was like, they're going to keep him. So, but no, I just, like, to me, I have the Lions probably 1 right now. I think the Lions added depth.
So I
don't even think the Lions went crazy. I think the Lions just were like, let's build out our depth pieces on here.
So while we were doing this, I just made this graphic now. So I figured right now I'm putting the Lions number 1 based off their last year's records.
Right.
And then, the Packers at 2nd and Bears at 3rd, Minnesota at 4th. So, what the thing is, Minnesota having a rookie quarterback too, as well as we have a rookie quarterback, but actually this is an extremely tough division. Because Minnesota, they're the same team as us.
Yes, and that's exactly what I was going to say. I don't think you can say rookie quarterback nothing and beat your chest about the Chicago Bears and then say different things about what Minnesota did. Because Minnesota, we know at a minimum, they can call a defense.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They
absolutely.
added Dallas Turner late in that mug, so you got a dog over there. JJ McCarthy gets to look around and go, snap.
Minnesota.
He did go
to
Minnesota.
You get the turnaround, and JJ McCarthy gets to go, snap. Yeah. Who's that over there?
Jordan Addison.
Is that freaking Justin Jefferson? What's going on over here? Is that Jordan Addison? Is that Hawk? I said Hawk running up the middle there. Wow. Yeah, I mean, they did not get worse. And I think that, listen, I love a tough division. I think that we're heading back towards being, if the Bears can get there, if the Vikings can get there, the black and blue division. Yeah, I think that right now the Lions are the clear-cut number 1, but you're 2, 3, and 4. I think it's kind of close, dog.
Oh, yeah. There's absolutely no sleepers. And in this division, you're going to have to stay on your toes because every single team is that good. By the way, I just wanted to point out, I am that guy.
You called it.
I told y'all where JJ was going to go.
No, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Didn't I tell y'all Joe Alt wasn't getting past 5?
No, I'm not. You did say that. I will give you that.
Joe Alt wasn't getting past 5, and I told them that and I told Joel when they went back, and Minnesota traded back up, they were gonna add JJ and Jared Verse.
No, I'm not gonna lie to you.
No. You called Dallas Turner, not JJ.
Dallas Turner.
Ringo was just.
I was on.
He was
a savant.
He was a savant. He was like
Nostradamus.
Hey, hold on. See, I didn't get to watch the day 1 of y'all breaking this down. Was he doing it like solid 3 minutes before the picks were going in?
Yeah, he was calling it.
Oh, you mean right before everybody else knew?
You can't fool me.
No,
you had him pulled up. You had the Twitter pulled up.
No. He had the early run.
I had Shams on his screen. You can't fool me.
Snap.
I give him his props.
Hey,
you can't fool me.
Breeze Nation, no.
Hey, you know the Twitter picks come in
I had it
like 7 minutes before the actual draft pick is made.
I had it deleted.
Can't get no credit.
No.
I would say this.
That man
though.
had the PFF pulled up too. Y'all saw how early PFF was coming in.
I ain't going.
Let's bring it back
Breeze
to
Nation,
I
though.
think this though with Detroit, the only thing I'm hoping for is a form of a letdown.
Yeah.
So a lot of times because they really thought they were a possession away or two of going to the Super Bowl, and a lot of times they may have been exposed or they might be reading their own, as they say, newspaper clippings. They could take a fall back, in a sense, while the Bears and Green Bay actually take a step.
We
forward.
got Detroit's number usually.
Exactly. And we should have beat them twice. We beat them once.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the thing. Detroit is the team I'm kind of worried about the least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I just, not to say that Detroit's not a tough team, but it seems like Matt Eberflus knows how to call a defense to beat Detroit. The Detroit offensive pieces did not change. The Detroit offensive pieces did not sit there and get insurmountably better. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like, listen, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown, it's Jared Goff, it's Sam Laporta. They got some dogs on the team for sure. I'm not saying that they don't. It's a great offense, but I think that the Bears kind of know how to call a defense against them. Yeah. The Packers are a hurdle. The Packers are a major hurdle. The Vikings are a team last year we struggled to score 10 points against.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, that is.
They had Justin Fields on lock.
Hey, by the way, did you happen to see Philly's draft?
Philly
killed it.
They always get it right on defense for some reason.
They re-up on their defensive side all the time.
Yeah. They got both top cornerbacks.
Cooper DeJean and what is it?
Quentin something?
Quinion Mitchell.
Quinion Mitchell. Then they get the Cooper DeJean. Then they got Jeremiah Trotter Jr. So they brought him back.
Michael Parsons was pissed.
Hey, that's crazy.
Listen, how you get both your starting cornerbacks in the first 2 rounds?
Crazy.
And
they got Quinion Mitchell and first. I don't know why Cooper DeJean fell. Cooper DeJean had to fall because of racism. Weird. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was some kind of weird reverse.
That was weird.
We can't let a white guy back in and quarterback type stuff. I have no idea. Cooper DeJean was a top 15 pick.
It was Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta messed the whole draft.
Atlanta effed everybody.
They were supposed to take a cornerback.
I thought Atlanta was taking Dallas Turner.
Oh yeah, Dallas Turner.
Yeah, everybody was picking him for defense.
But then he just fell out of the draft. Like, no, here's the thing.
Nobody needed him.
No, yes, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Bro, there were like 7 DBs taken before Cooper DeJean.
The Lions took Terrion Arnold at 24.
All right,
but Terrion Arnold is not.
Terrion Arnold's
checked
a
that
dog.
after our pick.
But it legitimately, like we were sitting there at the draft, and I was like, I know we don't need DB, but I'd give my whole day 3 to go up and get Cooper DeJean right now, dog. Like, I don't even care. But no, bro. Like I think Muggs is just thrown off seeing a white guy play that position. They didn't know how to compute it.
He's nice.
He's nice. Wait a minute.
Goes to chase the Seahorn.
Hey, but
goes to chase the Seahorn.
I think I'm looking at that board, that big board, and honestly, I think the Bears can go 4-2 in the division. I feel like we got the Lions number, and we're going to get over that mental hurdle, and we're going to go 1-1 against the Vikings and 1-1 against the Packers. I think we go 4-2, and if we go 4-2, there's a good chance with our schedule. And I don't think the schedule is that strong. It's kind of a mid schedule that we got.
We have a week,
a mid or weak schedule. So I could see us easily winning 10 games. At least that's my expectation, which would, in my opinion, put us like second in the division. Because I still think Detroit is the cream of the crop in the division. Mm-hmm. So I think the Bears honestly move up a little bit. They go 2, Detroit still 1, Green Bay 3, Minnesota is where they at. But I think the division is so strong. It's the strongest division in the league right now. And the Bears are really going to be fighting for that second spot between them and Green Bay.
Call me crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you, and you can make sure you stamp this because when the season starts, I'm gonna say 5-1. The only team that we're gonna lose to is Green Bay Packers at Green Bay. I think we're going to have a little bit more of an experience level over Minnesota as they get themselves together with JJ, even though they have a talented team offensively. I think overall we have a better team offensively and defensively. And then I think that for whatever reason, we have Detroit's number. Obviously, Detroit got better. They usually do a good job of re-upping on their cornerbacks. But it's just something about us having Detroit's number. We're really good against them no matter what. I love the fact, and I've said this before, I love the fact that if the Bears are going to be the tops in this division, be the tops over other really good teams.
Yeah.
I don't want to be successful over, mediocre talent or a weak division. This clearly is the cream of the crop in football right now. So
Yeah.
Nobody wants to beat bums.
No, I'm fine with beating bums. I have no problem.
I'm saying,
you
I'm saying standing on
you
top of
definitely
a
gotta beat
hill
bums.
like I did something.
He was beating his chest about the Giants, 3 years ago when they made the playoffs? They beat bums.
My point is that it means more.
Bums.
It means more when you beat the top. When you beat the top competition, it means more. So yes, you're supposed to beat the bums. Nobody, but a bum slayer, yeah, that's great. Then you get exposed in the playoffs.
schedule soft outside of the division.
This season right now, when we're looking at these standings, right? I mean, wait till we actually able to break down the schedule. I think the schedule releases next week, right?
I believe so. That sounds.
We don't know because I understand. I like
Jordan. When does the schedule release?
I like
that guy with the large TV connect.
That guy.
I got you.
I like where Jordan was going. If it's 5-1, that means yes, you have to basically blank Minnesota. You have to blank the Lions and split one with Green Bay. So either you got to win at home, against Green Bay and then go up there. But I mean, to me, because no one really has tape on Caleb. I think he comes out again. He comes out a couple of games looking really good. Then teams are going to adjust to him. So it'll be interesting what teams that we're actually playing in order to figure that out. It'd be great to get ahead of Minnesota or Green Bay in the beginning of the season while Caleb, they don't know how to defend him. And then at the end of the season is when we hopefully after the middle period of him trying to figure the game out, he takes effect in week 14 or 15, and now it's like he's arrived. He's here,
Yeah.
And then we got Green Bay week 17 or something like that.
I think I'm not gonna lie, the way the standings are right now in the back, that's just the way that I got them.
But I think the difference is the games to me, right? Like I think you could see a Green Bay take a step back, Detroit take a step back, be 10-7. I think this division could be 10-7, 10-7, 9-8, 9-8,
black and blue.
I think this could be the black and blue
maybe,
division yet again, where you're sitting there
back.
just like everybody's in it, everybody's throwing haymakers. You're finishing off the season with a Bears-Packers game, and like there's just mayhem. There's a fight on the field.
But
for some reason, somebody runs naked. There's always somebody on the field.
But look at it. It's you got 7-10, two teams are 7-10 and a 9-8. We're talking a game or two out within. Go back to the wide screen. You're talking about a game or two outside of them all competing, and then Detroit just was able to get ahead. But that means who they beat, Minnesota or whoever they beat in the division. It's going to be tough.
Oh, they dominated the division.
But I think about it like this, right? Like, for example, you know I'm always gonna be a fan of running the ball. What do you do with these air raid offenses? You gonna run the ball, take the time of possession away, and so for that I got them number one, and I cannot put the Bears over the Packers until they get over that mental hurdle.
But let me tell you this.
Because
I'm
tired because
he's going to punt the ball and pin it on the 5-yard line, and then our defense is going to get safeties on those guys.
You tell them, Joe.
That's how we're going to win the game.
Thank God for the punter.
Hey, but I was looking at it. I know Jordan probably gonna pull it up too, but historic. You got it up? I'll go ahead, bro.
Are you talking about as far as the schedule?
Yep.
Well, yeah. No, the first 3 weeks. I hope I'm looking at this right.
Well, this ain't in order. This is just our opponents.
It's not in order.
No, the schedule usually releases around like May 10th, May 11th.
Right. Because I was looking at it.
Last year, the schedule released on May 11th.
Well, historically, the last 4 years, the schedule is always released around May 11th or the 12th, which is like a Wednesday or Thursday. So it's probably going to be May 8th or 9th for us, since that's a Wednesday or Thursday. So that's probably where we're going to be looking at.
Right. No, I would say somewhere in there. But I'll say this. I think Joel's theory is sound on how Caleb goes, like how his play goes. But like, pull up the opponents again there, Jordan. He had a stroke. He got scared. Oh, God, we all the way back. God.
I got you.
He doesn't know what to do.
Asked for one.
We got a stat guy. Pull up the opponents there again, because I think this is what's interesting to see, right? Of course, we know we got our teams in the division, but outside of the division, right, you're looking at the Panthers. You're looking at Houston. You got the Rams. Or is that the Jaguars?
Jaguars, Rams.
So are these confirmed
Patriots.
opponents?
These are the confirmed
Yes.
opponents.
Yeah,
The
we still have the
Patriots.
schedule yet.
Got it.
Patriots.
Yeah.
If you start off
Seahawks.
your season with the Jaguars, the Rams, the Patriots,
It's
and
probably
the
Green Bay
freaking
first.
Seahawks.
And the Rams got a nice D line.
Seahawks.
Rams had some pieces. I ain't gonna lie to you.
The Titans.
But of course, right, there's gonna be a division game. But if you start off the season with a simple schedule, why can't you hit the ground running as a quarterback, right? And then it's like, okay, where do the struggles come in? If the tough games are like how the tough games were last year, your
Yeah.
tough games were kind of just sprinkled in there, right? It was like, oh man, we had a tough stretch, I think, in the month of September maybe or October, and it was like 3 tough games in a row, and it was like, oh, okay, if we get one of those, we did all right. But if you start your season off simple, right? You start with the Cardinals, and the Commanders, like,
Man.
you can see Caleb Williams come out and absolutely hit the ground running. Maybe you get a tough game here and there,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have to be a tough stretch.
We got
I'm gonna be
Carolina,
honest
too.
with you.
But that's
Outside of our division, I mean, I'm looking at some of these teams. Obviously, the 49ers and the Houston Texans are probably going to be really good, obviously, with the ascension of CJ Stroud. But outside of that, there's nobody that really scares me that I'm looking at. The Titans, the Seahawks, they've kind of taken a step back. The Patriots, the Rams, like you mentioned, the Jaguars, like all the Panthers,
Did we
obviously.
forget about the pieces
no.
the Titans added?
Huh?
Did we forget about the pieces that the Titans added?
No,
I
I didn't forget
just
about
don't
the
care
pieces.
about
Do you
the
know the
Titans.
pieces that the
But,
Bears just
I
got?
just don't think they're that good.
I'm just saying.
They're not on the
like,
same level as us.
You a big
I'm not.
you a big
I'm not-
Will Levis
I'm-
guy? Big Will Levis
yeah.
believer?
Hey,
P-Kid
no,
thinks Will Levis
actually,
is
do you
better
know
than
this
That's
man
why I
was
know he's
like-
gonna be mid.
Oh,
God,
no,
P-Kid
no.
thinks Will Levis is amazing.
Just because I'm in this seat,
You took over
just
P-Kid's
because I'm in this
brain.
seat doesn't mean I'm advocating for being quarterback.
Yeah.
No.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I
Yeah.
just think that I don't know if I believe in Will Levis just yet. Let's get
Nah,
there
yeah.
first.
It's
Hey
a
man, let's
soft
finish the show off. Cards will still be an average team. Cards weren't an average team last year. The Cards were dog water. They were god awful. I'll never forget that having on the Cards play-by-play guy on the Bears podcast last year. I was like, what's the best way to go out there and attack the Cardinals? He's like, how do you want to attack them? I was like, oh, okay, all right, well, that's a thing. Hey man, appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. PK said, I think Will Levis is better than Anthony Richardson.
Oh, here we go.
Bro,
Oh,
was
that's
on
what he
Anthony
did. Yes, that's what he
Richardson.
said.
was
And
on
I-
Anthony Richardson, though.
complete
listen.
blasphemy.
He was on him.
Hey, listen.
Blasphemy.
Hey, listen. No, but here's my thing.
Hold on.
That's
Oh, dang, I keep forgetting
What-
the wrong one.
what
Sorry.
what'd you
what-
what'd you
what-
just
what-
hit?
what's happening?
Starting the show over.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened there. No,
The
I
boring
think,
credit for Kid. That was the kid.
I think here's my thing on that. That's like saying I think Sam Darnold's gonna be better than Sam Howell. Like I don't care about either one of these mugs. Like why am I worried about either
Sam? Oh, God.
Sam Howell? Hey man, appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button,
I'm
subscribe to
seeing
the
ghosts.
page.
I'm
Let's
seeing
talk
ghosts.
about the best and worst of the weekend. This was a weekend that had a ton of best. This is a weekend that had some interesting worse. I think that listen, when you look at some of the best out there,
It's quite a bit.
there's nothing better than me that we saw this weekend than the world getting a taste. Calm down.
Whoa. Mistakes?
Of a real Southern accent.
Oh.
The entire world got the opportunity
I know what
to hear from Xavier Legette, who's from South Carolina, and got to be a part of his Carolina Panthers team.
Yeah.
And my God, the reaction to it was the greatest thing of all time because I was sitting there watching people go, what did he say? Meanwhile, I knew every single word he said the entire time. Let's take a listen.
We will begin with questions for Xavier.
Xavier, you woke up a Carolina Panther. Did you have to pinch yourself?
Say it one more time.
So you woke up a Carolina Panther this morning. Did you have to pinch yourself a little bit?
Oh no, man. I woke up ready, man. I got a call right after I got dressed. They was coming to pick me up at 9:30 in the morning. I told them I'm gonna be ready.
What was that feeling like when you got the call? Because I saw the emotion in your face in the video, but what were those emotions?
Overly excited, man, whole time, and I really trying to hold my tears in for real, man. I told my folks I wasn't gonna crack. I was trying to be tough guy, but man, I was really overexcited.
This was the greatest thing in the world because I knew every word he said the second he said it. And I legitimately went, why are people laughing? And I realized that people around the world have not heard so many Southern dialects.
Yeah.
And I've heard just about all of them. I got people in Alabama. We got people in Atlanta. We got people in the Carolinas. We got people in New York. We got people all over the country. So I'm sitting there when he was like, overly excited, baby. You know, everything was overly excited. I'm just glad to be. I tried to be tough guy doing mama. I wasn't going to be out there playing with them games.
Phone them.
I was like, yeah, let's get the crawfish bowl going tonight. Here we go, cuzzo. Where do I got to meet you at? That was my best of the weekend. I absolutely loved it. My worst of the weekend, it's Michael Penix.
Oh, yeah, bro.
And it's because of the position they put Michael Penix in.
He didn't want to get drafted by them. You saw his face?
I mean, listen. Well, Malik Neighbors didn't want to get drafted. That's the one.
I told him. I talked to
That's
him. We
the
was
guy.
going to touch base. And
Hey, bro. Man sent a text message to his quarterback. Ain't talked to him one time. He hoping that he's not on the team. But no, my worst is Michael Penix just because of the situation they put him in. You don't want to have to deal with that where you know you're probably not going to play for 2 to 3 years, especially when you're going that high in the draft. Everybody wants to play. You want them to learn as much as possible. I get it. But Penix is going to be 26, 27
he's 24 now, right?
by the time
I think he's gonna be 25 by the time the season starts. The time that they're talking about he's gonna play because
he's 27.
He'll be 28
He'll be
years
almost
old.
28 years old.
He'll be 28. He'll
Which,
actually
listen,
be 28.
if he's healthy and good to go, he's got a lot of career left. 28 to what? 33, 34 years old. That's a lot of time in the NFL
32.
for you to play.
Well, he can go to 37.
You play. I mean, listen, he could play a very long time. I'm not saying that he can't, but it's tough for me to see him in a situation like that because I wanted him to go to a situation where he's going to be able to hit the ground running. But at least I think I think Kirk Cousins is a tough guy. You know what I'm saying? He overly excited, baby. Overly excited. I think Kirk Cousins is the type of guy that will teach Penix a lot of things that he needs to learn, and that will be a benefit.
Henry Wallace.
I'm not gonna lie. Did
Shrimp
you see
sandwiches, shrimp barbecue, shrimp scampi. Bubba Gump is back.
Henry Wallace's ghost in the building.
Oh man, but did you see Arthur Blank like come down immediately and put his bro? It was he had these stands of literally like explain this to me before you get fired.
I don't think that's true. I think there's no way that
that's crazy.
I think the owner, they knew. I think they're just trying to make a story out of that. There's
I
way.
think it's true.
Yeah,
you think that he was surprised like the owner was surprised?
Yeah.
Oh, he was surprised.
The owner paid $180 million guaranteed to a quarterback. I guarantee you he was surprised.
I don't know.
The man was like the joke.
You want to know how I know he was surprised? Kirk found out about it when they was on the clock.
That's Kirk. That's different. That's different.
I don't think so.
The QB, that's different. The owner, the GM.
I think that was a Ryan Pace move.
But he's a scout guy now, isn't he? Or
he's
director
pro. No, I'm not saying. I think that move style was Ryan Pace. George was surprised we was taking Mitch.
What I'm saying is that
George McCaskey did not know we was taking Mitch. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't think that. I think Arthur Blank is a smarter GM owner than I would say some of the other guys. But
the GM was
I don't believe that he was surprised. Like I think they knew. I think they're just trying to paint it, make the way that there was the gestures and the way the video was going. It looked funny. It looked hilarious. Like, what we're saying is within 2 or 3 years when he's 27, he could start.
No, it was this one when he did this. It's like, now hear me out.
he was like,
let me convince you.
He did the Joker on him. He was like, it's not about the money.
A pretty good Joker. That was creepy. Go ahead, Ringo. What was your best and worst of the weekend?
Best of the weekend. Finally caught up on X-Men 97. Listen, best cartoon animation forever, bro.
Best cartoon animation
ever.
Of this,
y'all living in the moment.
like Batman Beyond didn't exist.
Yeah, it was definitely crazy. Had me on the edge of my seat. The only thing is,
that gambling.
I'm with you.
I can't be spoiling it for people. Calm down.
Hey, you relax, Ricky Bobby. Nah, I'm definitely with you. They need to release it every Saturday.
It don't make
They-
sense to
they're
not release it
missing
on a
the
Saturday.
opportunity.
You missing out on
They're
nostalgia.
missing an opportunity.
You drop that at Saturday morning at
At 9
I'm
a.m.
sitting down with a bowl of cereal, getting as lactose as I
Yeah,
can, going to town watching this.
Showing up late to service.
I did. What's your worst?
Bro, my worst, bro, definitely would have to be, Malik Neighbors, bro. Malik Neighbors got to be my worst, bro.
That's tough. He's
It's-
definitely upset
bro,
already.
Bro, I'm not
Really?
gonna lie.
That's
It's-
what you wanted.
You could no.
Yeah, but then they didn't get a quarterback.
No, because you could
Oh,
see.
you mean him? Okay,
You
I
just
got
you just know, like you could see, like he's not trying to play with this dude.
Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah.
and he's
The
not,
message
he's not,
is sent.
he's not trying to play with this dude.
Yeah.
Hurry up and fix it.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know how you fix it.
Yeah, I
Who
was
you
about
gonna
to
go
say.
get? But
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins
Wait
might be
another year.
available.
Hey,
Or
man.
you trade
Hey.
for Michael Penix.
Hey,
All right,
Hey,
all
the
right.
Steelers-
You got years.
Hey, I gotta say,
waits a
man.
year.
I got a white guy
Justin
from Western
Fields.
Kentucky that we signed as an undrafted free agent if you want him.
I'm good. I'm
For
good.
me, my
Go
best
ahead.
of the weekend, Pat, Anthony Edwards
Woo!
dunk on
Oh, yes.
Listen,
all
listen.
of Phoenix.
Listen, I'm gonna say it here right now. I know it's crazy. It's gonna piss Joel off. He moved like Jordan.
Yes.
Yeah, he does.
He moves like Jordan.
Yes.
That's what KD was saying.
He moves
Yes.
like Michael Jordan. And I'm not just talking about on the court. I'm talking about his mentality. Literally, he moves like Jordan to a point where, you know how LeBron is, oh, I'm the GOAT. You know what I mean? It's GOAT time out here. GOAT James, all that.
He's a
He's
killer.
fine with that. It is what it is, right? Anthony Edwards,
Soul snatcher.
what's his name, was like, hey, you the fake. That was crazy.
Calm down,
Soul
dog.
Snatcher's crazy.
Yeah.
I said soul snatcher.
But Anthony Edwards is probably going to be the face of the league.
Yes.
And when Kat says that, he's like, hey, man, we're not trying to have that conversation. That reminds me of Michael going, to say I'm the greatest of all time is disrespectful to the people that come before me.
Yeah.
That reminds me of Kobe going, I can't say I'm the greatest of all time until I get past MJ. And even then, you got to think about the people in the past. Like,
Yeah.
he's keeping everything in perspective until he getting them lines, and then he's a killer.
And the crazy thing about it is, you sweep KD, but still give KD his flowers.
And
Give KD love.
And KD respected it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you something else,
And that's
man.
why
What
KD
happened?
ain't in that conversation.
I'm gonna tell you
But
something
anyway.
else. Part 2 to that best of the work weekend when it comes to Ant. They were in a press conference, him and Kat, and they said the reason why we won this game is because Kat stayed out of foul trouble. He said, "Hey man, you gotta stop fouling." And then he was like, "Oh, well, he was like, no, stop fouling, stop fouling."
And if literally,
If that ain't Jordan,
bro, if literally it takes somebody to just go, hey, stop doing the thing that's been killing you in the playoffs for the past 5-6 years. Since we've started the Windy City Breeze, Cat been in foul trouble.
Yeah.
Every playoff series. Oh, I love it. Yeah, Ant was very excited. What's your worst?
Worst of the weekend, man. I gotta, go back to my team. It's weird, right? It's weird that I'm saying this is
You
the
talking about
worst
the White Sox?
because they did sweep.
They won. They
Swept the weekend, but the worst probably came when it's a call. I think it was a walk-off home run, and the play-by-play announcer, I can't think of his name. He says, "Shout out to the haters" or something like that. Like, shout out to the haters. And my thing is like, yo, we just won our 6th game of the season. We can't be talking any trash. Yo, what is going on? Like, we just won. We literally doubled our win total by this weekend series.
Bro.
That's crazy.
Shut up, Cubs fan in the back.
I tried to hold in my laugh. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
JC, we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, we don't.
Hey.
You know what you got to worry about?
Oh, here we go.
Those bullpen arms.
Hey,
Dang.
He's always trying to come up with something.
We're
great.
confident in that bullpen?
I'm confident in the team overall.
Oh, okay. Man's not confident in nothing. What you got for best and worst, Joe?
My best of the weekend would be kind of echoes what everybody was saying. One, LeBron. No. My best was that I like seeing Minnesota advance.
Right.
My other best was that my worst was that LeBron won a game. and then I wanted them to get swept.
Bro, the Jordan hate for
So
this man,
so disrespectful, bro. Like
just so that
and-
he could beat his chest to say Jordan never got swept in the series.
I mean, no, it's not even that.
Even though you got to throw 7 game on that mother.
he did get swept.
He got
though.
swept in
He got
series.
swept.
He got swept in series that
trying
weren't
to get to
7
my
games.
best of the weekend. Everybody, can I get
Still
to
got swept.
Why can't I get
Go
to
ahead.
mine?
Go ahead.
And then also kind of echo
Man, and watch the
Michael
game in years.
Penix getting drafted, but more so, it's probably based on Atlanta may have took that pick because if they end up losing picks in the future, they know that Kirk is 36. They probably had to make that move now.
Yeah.
So because they could have ended up losing, who knows what picks they end up losing.
Yeah, we don't know what the tampering charge.
So that's
about to be.
probably what
Or if they get hit,
that'll be the
with one.
worst of my weekend. But yeah,
Atlanta not getting hit with tampering is my worst because we could have just moved up and
yeah,
Man.
avoided all of this.
one
Yeah,
extra pick.
for real.
Yeah.
Hey, and they still could have ended up with Michael Penix,
Jesus, man.
33.
Exactly.
What's your best and worst, JC?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I got a couple best and one worst, so I'm gonna go through it quickly. My first best is shout out to Candace Parker for having an illustrious
Yeah, clap it up for Candace.
16-year career,
Yeah.
CP3, homegrown talent, baby. All-star 7 times, won 3 championships with 3 different teams. Obviously, the most important one is the one she brought home to the Chicago Sky at 21. She is the first player in WNBA history to do that. She's also the only player in WNBA history to win an MVP and Rookie of the Year in the same season in 08. A lot of medals, a lot of championships, even at the collegiate level. So clearly one of the GOATs of WNBA basketball.
Oh, yeah.
The other one is the Keon Coleman interview where that man
Oh,
said,
he
"Hey
was
man,
good, too.
I bought this. What do you say? You bought this
bro,
jacket
I
from
love that.
from
I-
Walmart
I
or something?
love
From
that.
Macy's? From Macy's?
He said Macy's
I'm
off
gonna get
the
all
rack.
the colors."
Hey, and I just love the black mama knowledge that he dropped. He was like, "Nah, baby, you got to get." She said, "What you buying that Thanksgiving?" He said, "No, you got to get it a season
Oh
before."
yeah, 2 seasons
Everybody
later,
has
it's come
Thanksgiving.
cheaper.
Yeah, everybody buying a coat at
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. You got to get that thing in season
I
before,
love
2
it.
seasons before.
Dude, I saw this post. Adam Schefter was saying after today, the 2022 Texans Browns Deshaun Watson trade is now complete. So, the Browns have got Deshaun Watson. They got a 2024 6th-round pick that was included in the Jerry Jeudy trade. The Texans, they got a 1st-round pick, which became guard Kenyon Green. A 2022 4th-round pick was Damian Pierce, the running back. Then they got the 2023 1st-round pick, which is Will Anderson Jr. A 2023 3rd-round pick, which became Tank Dell.
Wow.
A 2024 1st-round pick traded back with Minnesota, which became a 2024 2nd-round pick for Kamari Lassiter, and a 2024 6th-round pick Jamel Hill, and then they got another 4th-round pick, which became safety Caden Bullock. All this came
They drafted Jamel Hill. The
Jamal. Sorry,
I was saying like Jamel Hill.
sorry,
Yeah.
Jamal.
Crossing bull.
She got
All
good
those
shoulders, but I don't think football player.
So that's crazy for that. We're gonna have to compare like our draft with this because our draft will be complete next year with the 2025.
Oh, like who had the bigger trade fleece?
Because that's
Oh,
a lot.
it's definitely us.
I think here's the
It's
thing.
definitely us.
If
It's the Browns.
if you get the
Nah.
no, I think it might be the Bears just because if you take into account the fact that the Bears may get their first ever franchise quarterback out of it, it blows everything else out of the water.
And more
I
starters.
mean, yeah, but you paid Deshaun like 250. I mean,
230
230,
guaranteed.
and you guys had to complete a full season.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I just got
Yeah.
Tank. I just got Damian Pierce,
Tank Dell.
who's a really good running back. Tank Dell.
Will Anderson.
I got the defensive rookie of the year, and
Hey, yeah.
I got shit like what?
Yeah.
Like,
And I got a punter.
you can't make that.
What was
up.
your
And we
worst
got
of the
Toy
weekend,
Taylor.
JC?
Real quick, my worst was just a funny image of LeBron James throwing a baby fit.
Bro,
with,
that was
the call that he didn't get the replay or whatever from Darvin Ham, and he just threw a fit like a
I
child.
think he was yelling at the ref. I don't
Not
think he was
fair,
yelling
not
at
fair.
Whoever he
Darvin
was
Ham.
yelling at, it looked like he was in a he should be in a bib or something because the dude just jumped up and was whining like I'm done with LeBron, man. I'm really done with LeBron. He's overrated. I said it.
But
Yup.
if I say
We
it, I'm
done
a
with the
Jordan,
90s.
I'm
Jordan
just
ain't
a
got no
Jordan,
left.
whatever. But okay.
No, I mean that's weird too. I just like at worst you got him as the second best player of all time.
I do, but I'm just tired of the antics.
Wait a minute now.
I'm
He's
tired of the
overrated.
antics. He's third. No, third. I say that in context.
He's got him as the second best player of
me.
all time. This guy's overrated.
Third overall for me.
How
I
do you
got
guys
fourth
put
and
him
fifth.
first?
I don't like the antics. I don't like the antics.
We'll have to break that down over the summer. That's going to be a great debate.
Oh,
again.
God, I can't wait to do this. I'm so sick of Jordan versus LeBron debates. It's the dumbest thing.
I'm saying the greatest of all time debate.
Wayne Gretzky. Nobody else comes close.
No, basketball.
Nah,
Stat-wise,
I was
yeah,
gonna
that
say,
is true.
basketball.
Stat-wise, yeah, Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky.
Nobody
Basketball.
touching Wayne Gretzky
half of,
records.
you take away
Stat-wise.
half of Wayne Gretzky's career, he's still the greatest hockey player of all time. Let's see Tom Brady do that. Wow. Hey, man, appreciate
More
y'all for tuning in and
assists.
showing love. Hit that like button,
Snap.
subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Yeah, some of the
true.
chats worse are hilarious.
Yeah.
First off, Bears Junkie said his worst of the weekend is only having 5 members at the press for their introductory press conference for the Sky.
That's crazy.
Baby steps, dog.
Yeah.
Baby
We
steps.
didn't
Nobody's
expect
covering
the
the Sky.
whole crowd.
They won a championship and nobody was covering the Sky except like Hayes,
Yeah.
CHGO, a couple of newspaper articles. No, for real. Like,
No,
like
really.
it's
Just
baby steps.
YouTubers.
No, you got to get there.
Just
You
YouTubers
got to
covered.
get to that point, and I'm not mad at it. I'm willing to watch people grow with them. Welcome to the WNBA party for a league that I've been watching for 6 years now. That's been entertaining all 6 years. I've been watching it. I've been watching it probably more than 6 years, but I guess
I've been
paying
watching
attention
since the beginning.
closely to the Sky for 6 years, I really got back into it. Yeah, Muzz wanted to be the same fanfare as Caitlin Clark, and it's just not gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it's not. Like Angel Reese is not as transcendent a player as Caitlin Clark.
She's
is.
the villain.
So go be the villain. Go dominate. Take all that
she will
stuff.
be. I think she will eventually be as marketable though. Because
Absolutely, I
how-
think that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm not saying that, but it's you have one that's there now, and you have one that will get there. And I say
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Somebody, Asia Wilson, I think, tweeted this out. Don't take opportunities that haven't happened yet as opportunities missed. That's really all this is. Everybody want to be mad at Caitlin Clark for getting the opportunities, but what she's doing is opening up the opportunities to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I love what's coming to the
But some
WNBA,
people-
and I can't wait for this thing to grow. Muzz wanted to be the NBA in 2010 already,
It's gonna
and
take
it's
a
like
minute.
you got to go through the
Well,
80s,
first
bro.
of all,
You got to go
Muzz
through
be
your
trying to-
cocaine phase.
They
There's no cocaine right now. Come
They
on,
only
man.
got 12 teams.
I think, but they only play 40.
Air horn on that one.
They only play 40 games. Like they play half the amount.
It's 40 games and 12 teams. It's the WNBA back in
My
the day.
point is,
I
in
mean, it's the
terms
NBA
of
back
all
in
the
day.
all the narratives, all the commentary about they don't get paid, it just doesn't compare to the NBA.
It's all about the
But,
money.
the other thing is it's the what do they say? It's when you have people that's in the trees versus overseeing the forest.
Yeah.
Most of the people are in the trees. When we get this, it's like it's a bigger.
No, you know
it's
what
a
it
long
is?
ball
You know
game.
what kills me about it is it's all the people that are new to the WNBA fandom because Caitlin Clark is now in the
Right.
WNBA. Angel Reese is now in the WNBA, so they feel like they got to support. And it's like, where was y'all a year ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was sitting here watching the freaking Aces and the
Yeah.
Liberty in the finals, sitting here pissed that Slutty's on the wrong
Yeah.
team, and
Yeah.
everybody, oh,
Yeah.
you
No
watching
new
the
friends.
WNBA finals?
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. You trying to tell me during the gym giving a press conference? Hey, welcome.
I played on that gym. It's a nice, it's
Yeah,
a nice
there's only
court.
12.
We,
New York,
we've been
Connecticut,
there.
Atlanta,
We've been on that-
Couple
we've been on that
times,
court. It's a
Indiana on
nice
the
court.
east.
Nice court.
Bears Junkie said zooted up women playing basketball would really be entertaining. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. For the man formerly known as Ringo J, Stefan Nadine, the super producer Joel Holt, on the ones and twos, on the cam, C-Dub, eyebrows, and Mr. Media himself in the back. Hey, yo. Y'all stay
Mr.
safe out there, Chicago. One love. Bear down, C-Red, Skytown. What else we got? Go Sox, go. Ugh. Oh, no, it's Go Cubs, go.
You doggone
Nice.
right.
What do
Go
we got?
Cubs.
We got White Sox. White Sox. Go White Sox.
Let's
No,
go,
no,
go,
no, no,
White
White Sox.
Sox.
Yeah, the Go
Yeah,
White
no,
Sox.
We are
That-
trash
Trash.
today.
Trash. Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
horrible.
Trash.
Straight out of, hey, that song is from when they won their last playoff series before the World Series.
Hey!
Y'all stay